Dang! ICP, Instructor Certification Program, Gracie Academy 2011, final evaluation. Just so you guys know, this was the first ICP that followed a new format where the instructors, before showing up here, they learned all of Gracie combatives, they had to perfect these techniques, and they learned all of the teaching methodologies online through Gracie University. It's all video-based online instruction, and it's just incredibly comprehensive. Every teaching methodology, from kids to adults to class management to teaching 10-minute intro to how to correct mistakes, everything you can imagine from a teaching perspective is covered in these online ICP videos. And the way it works is these instructors, dedicated individuals, go through this stuff from home, and at the end they send in 5 teaching proficiency videos which demonstrate these critical teaching skills from home. So before they get here, we already have a chance to view their teaching skills, and if they appear to have the Gracie way, the passion, the skill, the knowledge, and the appreciation for detail is very critical as well. If they pass the teaching proficiency video, the TPV test, we bring them out.
This was the first time ever that I've met so many people that already knew me so well. That was very cool, right? Everybody walking in already kind of teaching like my grandfather, like my father, like my uncles. They already had all these teaching principles and teaching techniques. Their understanding of the techniques was as if they'd been training here with us at the academy, but they weren't. They were at home in their garage training, getting ready for the ICP. Nathan Russell was a student who came to the ICPs, and he's actually blind. And it was great because Nathan was able to, of course, watch all of our online videos for the ICP course. And when he watched them, really he was only listening, but he was able to take the information necessary to come here and, while being tested, still pass. The important thing to see is that it's a certain kind of person that can teach Gracie Jiu-jitsu and be part of the family. And what's wild is that just the process of getting here weeded out a good amount of those people. So the ones that got here, we already believed so much in them that I think they felt that and they knew that. And there's something that we wanted more than for them to pass and do well. They got all the information that I have ever learned from any other Gracie. Everything that I've ever learned, I've passed to them.
You know, after we got all the business out of the way, all the jiu-jitsu, all the training, all the teaching methodology were verified, then the real fun began. Go-kart racing. Damn.
Henner goes all the time, right? It's Henner's thing, he's go-kart champion in the world. So of course, he planned on taking all the instructors there just so he could, you know, of course, bond a little bit. That was his intention. But more than that, it was he wanted to show them that he's the best at not just jiu-jitsu, but something else.
I'm not gonna lie, you know, my black belt is transferable to go-kart racing, so.
May I say something? You guys have heard of Michael Schumacher? Watch and learn, guys. Watch and learn.
These guys thought, yeah, we're German, you know, we make automobiles, you know, BMW, Mercedes. And I said, bro, let's do it on the track. So we get out there, and I'm not sure if it was 2 or 3 times that I lapped the Germans.
And then we go to the beach, hanging out at the beach. We bring our skimboards, a little board that you throw on the sand, right where the water and the sand is very thin, very little amount of water, and you slide on the board, skimboarding on the sand and the water. Very fun. It's a very good thing for us to do, very good for your balance and your reflexes. So it's fun to see some of the guys falling. Good bait. Go. Slow, slow. Go! I'm gonna throw this on his back when he goes, okay? Wait, okay? The slack line, we have a line, it's about seatbelt thick.
We set up a slack line between the 2 pure pillars, And man, we like generated a crowd. All these people came by, thought we were circus performers.
And every instructor pretty much who was there tried to walk on it. We have a game that our father taught us when we were kids where you hold a ball of sand and you throw the ball of sand at somebody maybe like 7-8 feet from you, but they can't move their feet. They can only move their body to avoid being hit by the ball. And also a very good hand-eye coordination reflex game, very good jiu-jitsu beach game, which was a blast. And of course, Henner's the best at that. And Henner's the best at the skimboarding and the slackline. No, actually the slackline is a different story. He's the best in the sense that he walks on the slackline like everybody in the world. I'm the best in the sense that I walk on the slackline like you can't even identify what I am when I walk on it. So that's my whole approach. I try to take the very unorthodox, very weird slackline approach.
My name is Gui Patrice Chumba, and I'm a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I first heard of the Gracie Combatives DVD about 2 years ago. A friend of mine introduced me to them and told me, hey, you really need to check those out. They are very good. But because of the review I've read on sites, websites online, on ShareDog, in chat rooms, people attacking the programs, I didn't really catch on really fast. But a few months later, I bought the DVDs anyway. And right after the first DVD, I knew I touched some gold. I knew this was a major milestone, and it was gonna change my jiu-jitsu forever. I've been involved with martial arts for many years, more than 20 years, and I've always looked at martial arts from a effectiveness point of view, a self-defense, being able to defend yourself point of view. And the combatives went straight to that. I took Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because I wanted to be more effective. I went and trained at places where people much smaller than me in the sport jiu-jitsu setting were able, to control me and submit me. And that's why I took up on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It was going toward the philosophy I have toward martial arts. And the combative came into the picture, and with 36 techniques, we're setting up the base I never had really training in sport jiu-jitsu. Combatives allowed me to go back and look at techniques, jiu-jitsu techniques I learned years before and understand them better. And most importantly, those 36 techniques were giving me right away the tools I needed to defend myself without any other martial arts background. And that was the most important piece. That's where I saw the light and understood that I had to become a teacher of this. I had to learn how to pass this on to other people. A few months later, I realized that there was a program out there that would allow me to do that. And the Gracie family was putting all the tools necessary for me to become an instructor. And when I got into the program, okay, it wasn't easy. It's a select few are able to get into it. I realized that they went further than that. They put me through a computer and the internet in an instructor training setting, just like a university. I was in a classroom with other instructors coming from all over the world through 51 classes. That's all semester and more, a year of school, of videos going from 30 minutes to almost 2 hours of instruction, telling you step by step what to do live. And on top of that, an instructor training manual that you could follow to physically teach the techniques, and most importantly, to manage an instruction program. So that was awesome and unheard of. The structure, the pace, the quality of instruction allowed me to be able today to present better instruction to my student, because at the end of the day, that's all it is about the students, about the people who really want to learn these martial arts. And the Gracie were able to put in place a system that would allow all instructors in the world that teach Gracie Jiu-jitsu and Brazilian Jiu-jitsu to present the techniques for the first time in an organized way, clearly, and with what they call, the Gracie calls stickiness, techniques that you will teach and that the students will be able to remember. They will develop their reflex in a methodical way, so when it's necessary, when they need to use it, the tools will be there. The combative 36 techniques will be there, and further along the line, they will learn even more techniques that they will add to their arsenal for sport or whatever else they want. And you can use those teaching methodology to teach almost anything you want in your life. It doesn't just stop at jiu-jitsu. It goes into everything you want it to go. It can go into your health. It can go into your life. How do you plan your life? It can go into teaching your kids how to play volleyball and soccer or anything you want. That's the beauty of the ICP. You don't only learn to teach Gracie Jiu-jitsu, but you learn to teach life.
The bond between us and the instructors kind of went from not even knowing each other just through the computer to almost like now a little bit best friends. And I can almost invite them, like, yo, come stay at my house, because I know them and I understand that they understand me and I understand them. We both have the same goals, which is to help people learn to defend themselves. So that kind of person, you know, naturally would just fit into my life very easy. So it's great to have a whole bunch of new friends from this ICP course.
As soon as you start feeling the pressure, just, you know, turn it a little bit, and that will make you go. Got it. Okay. Oh!
Hopefully next year we'll do, like, you know, miniature golf. We just better start training miniature golf now, so when everybody gets here, we'll be ahead of the game again.